Welcome back to my channel, My Road to Wealth, where I give you tips, document my journey, where I'm trying to create a community that's all geared towards budgeting, investing, maybe you're even into property. So if you like this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe and join me for a video every weekend. So whether you fancied a treat, a new TV, or made a mistake, or you've just been caught in a bad situation, there's a variety of reasons why people get into debt. It's a daily part of our lives, with nearly half of Brits being in debt on an average of £3,845 each. It's no surprise that for so many people it is something that can keep you up at night. It's something which can be quite tough to manage, especially when you don't have clear steps to help you address it and work on it. It can seem really daunting. That's what I'm here to try and help with this video. So let's get you started with those steps. In this video, it's going to be 4 straightforward, simple, actionable steps to help you start working on your debt and start to address it. Just know I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take this as advice. Carry out your own research. If you're unsure, see a professional. In this video, there's going to be a lot of differing opinions on this, but I'm not going to look at what I would consider as good debt, although some of it could apply to it. Good debt can be considered as things which help you build on your financial future, your financial situation. So under that, you've got like your residential mortgage, a buy-to-let mortgage, student loans if you're in education, working your way to earning more money as an example, or even just like a loan for starting a business. It's all things that will help you build in the future. This is stuff that can be applied to it, but yeah, it won't specifically be mentioned through the video. So in this video, we're going to be covering quite the opposite. So that's bad debt. So that could be anything from credit cards, payday loans, overdrafts, things which you needed to tap into to obviously buy some things. Sometimes they're used for obviously situations that you're in. For others, it might be used for designer clothes, for goods, for electronics, all that will lose value over time anyway. So step number 1, create a budget. So I know you're going to hear this a heck of a lot from me, but it's something you need. But I do have a video on it, which I can also link at the end. But this takes you through in detail creating a budget. Main bits are what I want you to do is list your expenses. So list out all your expenses, whether that's obviously your rent, your mortgage, your electric bill, your car bill, your fuel bill, absolutely everything. Just list what you spend on a monthly basis and how much they cost. Also get an idea of your monthly income. So what money have you got coming in on average every single month? Whether that's if you're salaried, obviously look at your paycheck. If you're commission based or own a business, maybe take a look at taking an average. But then additional to the budget, what I'd like you to do is list all of your debts. So literally list the balances, how much money do you owe? And then alongside that, how much interest are you paying on that debt? Step number 2, so organising, reducing and really stretching the money that you've got. So take your budget, split it into your needs and your wants. So your needs, obviously stuff that you need to live your life. So that could be your rent, your mortgage, your electric, your water, your food, car bill if you need to get to and from work with it. They're all your needs, obviously. You've got your wants on the other hand. They're stuff like you're going out to eat, they're your going to the cinema, buying unnecessarily clothes as an example, stuff that you want. Now that you've got that together in your budget, you want to go through it, reduce anything that you feel as though is unnecessary. So if you've got, let's say, a magazine membership where you don't read the magazine anymore, or going through all your expenses and anything that comes out, if there's something which you're unsure what it is, you'd be surprised how many people do this, but you're unsure what this expense is, digging into it, finding out and getting rid of it if it's something you don't need. Or using a comparison site to get cheaper insurance when it comes to it, or looking at entertainment differently. So do you need your Sky TV or your Virgin TV package, or could you just do with Netflix and Amazon Prime, which could be a lot cheaper? Next is about sort of stretching and scraping together what you can. So you can sell a lot of stuff you've got in your house, whether that's games you don't play anymore. Obviously, the longer you leave them, lower you'll be able to be paid for them. Vinted for your clothes. Even there's companies out there that pay you for your unwanted gift cards from friends or family members. Obviously, on the other hand, there's also getting a second job or working extra hours, extra shifts. It all depends on what sort of situation you're in. And now for step number 3. It's not going to be a step for everyone, so hey, bonus, this might just be a 3-step video for you. But debt consolidation, again, you need to do your own research because it's very specific to your own circumstances. But essentially what that's doing is taking a bunch of bad debt and putting it under one line of credit. So rather than owing, let's say, 3 or 4 different people, you owe the one. Let's have a look at an example. So let's come up with John. So John's our person. He has got a credit card where he owes £5,000 on the credit card. He owes that at a rate of 20%. He also has a loan of £10,000, a personal loan at 12%, and an overdraft of £2,000 at 18%. So John obviously has all these debts which he has to pay for every month and manage, but what he can do is look at debt consolidation, where potentially maybe looking at another loan, a debt consolidation loan, or even, let's say, for some people, a 0% interest balance transfer credit card. But let's say he gets approved on a £17,000 loan at 10%. So now what he can do is he can take that 17,000, pay off everyone he owes that money to, and now he only has that one loan to focus on. What he can do, he can adjust the term so it's more appropriate for him and suits his budget and what he can do. But on top of that, he's only got one debt to focus on, one debt to pay off, but also the interest is lower. So in the long run, this will really help him and save him from there. And for the final step, step number 4, and for some, step number 3, and that is pay off your debt. So there's 2 trains of thought with paying off debt. So the first one is called the snowball method. That's based on the analogy of rolling a snowball down a hill and it grows and grows. But the snowball method, you take the smallest balance. So out of all the balances you wrote down with their interest rates, take the smallest one, you pay that off first. Once that's paid off, you move on to the next smallest, and then you work your way from there. Benefits being the psychological benefits. So when you feel like you've achieved that and done that, you'll move on, you'll feel like you're really progressing, and it'll give you a psychological kick to keep moving forward and getting things done. Downside in the long run, however, because you're paying off the smallest balances, it's in terms of interest, it's going to work out the least effective. You're going to pay out more interest in the long run. But again, if this is something that's quite tough for you, then the snowball method could be one that works out better for you. Again, this is all based on your own circumstances. The other method is the avalanche method. So this is where you take the highest interest rate and you pay that one off first. Once that's paid off, you move on to the next highest interest rate. Again, you're not going to get that psychological kick, but in the long term, because it is the highest paying interest ones, it's going to work out the best in terms of obviously making sure you're out of pocket the least, because you're paying off the high interest stuff. So again, you're going to pay less interest in the long run. And that is that. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me, just being a really small channel. But I really hope I've given you those first few steps that you need to really take control of your financial future. And with that, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.